appreciate the perspective that it's not just the Thunder, that people do complain about officiating. If you don't believe that, just go to your local high school, or unfortunately go to the YMCA. It's a societal transformation in sports, and it's I think it's a sign of bigger things, in my opinion. like society changes and people express themselves differently, and social media has created a pathway to so many good things, but it also can do some things that aren't productive either. With respect to the technical fouls, we don't come into the year saying we'd like to lead the league or be at the top of the league in technical fouls. Just so we're clear, we address that with the players and try to play the fine line of you can't put players in boxes and say, we want you to play hard, we want you to be passionate, we want you to express yourself, but we don't want you to go over the line. It's a really delicate thing. I think what we would like to have is a team that plays inspired, but not necessarily a team that plays emotional. Because I think the emotional team is easier to play against. I think the inspired team is harder to beat. And that's the conversation that we have internally all the time. With that said, over 82 games, there is going to be some emotion that comes with that. Every team's going to face it. The ability to have that, and then it's all about how you respond, in my opinion. And there's times that we could do better at that, but there's also times where you have to give some latitude to the fact that people are competing, giving everything they have, and there are occasions where calls are missed and the reaction is sudden, and the official's in a position where they can, that's called game management, and everyone manages the game differently. The officials are under an intense amount of pressure as well. And I think the last 2-minute reports are really an intriguing thing. They're obviously there because of the advent of gambling on pro sports. They're difficult because it's not an independent review, right? It's reviewed by the NBA, who produces the report. And it's not entirely transparent because we don't know who's doing the review, which sometimes can create more questions about them. So I understand the need as to why they need to exist, because of what we're facing with gambling and the absolute need for transparency and integrity for our game. There's nothing more important. But there may be some things that we can do to try to maybe take the pressure off the outcome of the calls the next day. I don't know. It's really a question for Adam, but I know it's top of mind for him. They've been working on this forever. And the officials, the best part to me about them is when you run into them in an airport and they're carrying their bag with their little neck pillow, they are allowed to sleep, and they're people. They're humans. They don't want to make mistakes. Just like a player doesn't want to miss a shot, the world we live in is so immediate. And sometimes, to be honest with you, sometimes can be a little angry, and you gotta have a thick skin. And those guys work really hard. At the same time, it's split-second stuff, and the ability to respond and emotionally regulate is important for every team. But it is every team. We can be better.
And there's quite a lot of contingencies for all kinds of scenarios. I mean,